everyone. My name is Catherine and I love decorating for Christmas. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I decorate my white and blue traditional Christmas tree. This is a tree that I've been decorating for 18 years, and the artificial tree that I use is 18 years old as well. And you can imagine that after 18 seasons of getting the tree out of the box and fluffing it, and then taking it down and putting it back in the box, it's lost a little bit of its fluffiness and fullness. So I'm also going to be showing you how I take a more sparse tree and fill it out so it still looks stunning. But first, I'd love it if you take a moment to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It's really helpful to me as it shows YouTube that you enjoy my videos so they know to share it with more people. Also, I'd love if you'd leave me a comment and tell me where you live. I think it's really fun to find out where all my watchers are watching my videos from. And I'll be sure to say hello as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, we need to get the tree set up. And there's going to be two really important steps while I'm setting up the tree. First of all, I'm going to add more lights. And second of all, I'm going to use this fabric mesh to help provide a little more fullness in the tree. So for lights, I pretty much always add lights to my trees. First of all, artificial trees don't typically come with enough, but second of all, I like to add twinkle lights, run them a little bit on the inside of the tree so the tree really looks like it's shimmering. Twinkle lights can be hard to find, so I'll go ahead and link to this set that I pretty much use on all of my trees. And for the fabric mesh, this is a real soft, pliable mesh. It's almost a little bit more like a tulle or something kind of gauzy rather than what you traditionally see, which is a deco mesh. So I'll be sure to link to some of the options for this as well. My preference is just not to use the actual kind of hard plastic deco mesh because that doesn't have as much pliability as this. But really what the purpose of this is we're going to also run this on the inside of the tree, and that way it's going to first of all keep you from seeing through the tree, especially where it's just gotten more sparse through time, but also because it's metallic, it's going to reflect light back out and kind of bounce your eye back out of the tree. I do have a lot more information on exactly how I do all the steps of my Christmas trees in some of the other videos. So if you want to have more of the how and why step by step, I'll go ahead and link to some of those videos down in the description box below, and they'll also be on the end screen. But let's go ahead and get started with setting up and fluffing the tree. Now we finished setting up the tree, and just for reference, I did use one strand of the twinkle lights, which I believe are about 300 lights, and I did use two of the fabric mesh garland, which I believe are about 10 feet long a piece. Now we're going to move on to the tree topper, and so I'm going to use this really cool star which lights up, so it will need to plug into the tree. And so I'm going to put this at the top, and then right below that I have 3 of these bows that I've made that I'm going to circle around the tree right underneath it, so it just helps give it a little bit more oomph at the top as well. Now, I did make these bows myself. I have a tutorial on how to make bows, but since this tree is something I've been doing for so many years, it's been quite a long time since I've made these bows. I've actually improved my bow making techniques since then, but I just haven't bothered to remake these. And because I know this plugs in, I did actually pay attention to where a plug on the main set of lights was at so I could make it a little bit easier. Now I just have to find that, but I think it's somewhere back here. Found it. tree topper pretty well done. Obviously I still need to do something with the tails, but that's going to be part of my next step. I'm not fussing too much with perfection on the tree topper because, I'm still going to be working with the tree, so things are probably going to move a little bit, but this just gives you the idea of kind of the look I'm going for. But one of the very last things I'll do is make sure everything is really well secured and fluffed just like I like. You may have noticed when I was doing the fabric mesh and the lights that I didn't go all the way up to the top. That's because I knew this was going to take up a good bit of the room and I didn't really need to worry about that. So the next step that we're going to be doing is another really important step to helping the tree look more full, and that's adding the additional kinds of bows and ribbons and stems that are really going to provide good filler for the tree. So this is a more traditional tree. It's actually the only tree in my home that is very traditional looking. It's nice to have a little bit of variety though. But because of that, I am going to actually run ribbon kind of around the tree in a little bit more traditional pattern, where I'm going to run it and then tie it off in a spot and put a bow and maybe change patterns, but do that all the way around the tree with several different sets. So that's going to be something that I'm doing, and I'm looking for some of the holes to help me decide where I need to clamp off and put one of the bows that I've made to help fill in some of that space. Additionally, I have just a lot of extra ribbon that I can also just weave in and out of any spaces that feel a little bare, like they might need something. Now this is some of my favorite ribbon that I've ever found, this blue and white and silver ribbon, and I got those 18 years ago, I think from someplace like Ace Hardware, but you don't see these kinds of colors and ribbon very often. But I did find this ribbon at Hobby Lobby. So if you're interested in recreating a look like this, but you're having a hard time finding really beautiful ribbon, then this would be a great option. I went ahead and picked some up because I may add some of this into what else I'm doing for the first time this year. I don't know, we'll see. So we'll just start adding ribbon and bows and probably step back and tweak several times as we work our way around the tree. So I've not used any of the new ribbon yet. I will probably wait until the end and see if I really feel like there's anything else I need to fill in. But the next step is going to be to add some stems, which is also going to help fill in the tree. But I also am doing this because the way I'm going to place the stems is going to have them kind of come out of the tree. So once again, it's going to help with some fullness out, but it's also going to keep the tree from looking too formal. Just because the rest of the house really doesn't lend itself to that. So this is just kind of a fun way to add a little bit more organic airiness to the tree. Now these are actually two different stems each. The blueberries and the silverberries are different sizes, and I bought them separately and then just kind of melded them into one just to give it a little bit more complex look, and then just kind of wrapped the stems, because these are just wire, wrapped them together so I can just reuse these every year. So I'm just going to disperse these now throughout the tree. The next thing I'm going to do to help fill in the tree and just to decorate it is to actually start with the ornaments. I've got these big balls that I'm going to nestle into the tree, and they're going to help fill some voids. So I'm going to actually put these up kind of inside the tree, and I'm not going to need to secure them because the branches and other things will hold them in place. So I've got several of these that I'm going to place, and then I'm going to move on to other balls. So I have several different sets in various colors that go with the tree that I'm going to hang. And once again, I'm going to do a lot of these on the inside of the tree. That way they help fill some of the void inside. And for the shiny ones, they'll help reflect more light and kind of bounce your eye back out from the middle of the tree. Pro tip, it's really nice when you're putting on a bunch of ornaments like balls that require ornament hooks to go ahead and put all of the hooks on before you start putting the ornaments on the tree. That way you can more quickly go about this. Even better if you have a family member or friend who's willing to do this for you while you're decorating. That's how it happens at my mom's house. I decorate her trees, but she helps put the ornament hooks on. Pretty good deal. Don't mind the styrofoam that I've had to put right outside the door here to block out the light. Now we're on to putting on the special ornaments of the tree. And one of the things that I sometimes hear from people when I tell them about my Christmas trees is they think, oh, well, that's nice, but I really like all of my special ornaments. You know, I wouldn't want to do a theme tree because then I wouldn't be able to use the sentimental ornaments. And that's not the way I see it. When I go on trips, one of the things that I like to look for are special ornaments, so that as I'm putting them on the tree, I get to think back and remember the trip. Family and friends know that I love Christmas, and so that's something that they'll get me for gifts. So when I'm putting those on the tree, it makes me think of them. So for that reason, even though I do have themed trees, a lot of my trees are very special and a lot of fun for me to decorate because of the memories that are attached to them. One of the things that I really enjoy putting on this tree are the kind of blue and white Delft China look ornaments. And so I have several different ones that I have gotten on trips, that family and friends have gotten as they've traveled, etc. And so they're not really just readily available to purchase now. They're just something that I'm always on the search for. This is also the tree that I have all of my Swarovski snowflake ornaments on. And these are something that, once again, have a very special memory tied to each of them because my in-laws, my husband's parents, gift us the special ornament for each year, every year at Christmas. And I have these dating all the way back to 2004. They really do just add a beautiful gleam to the tree, and it just really makes me happy every time I look at them. And so what we'll do, since we have really spent the time kind of decorating in out, is we now have plenty of great places out on the outside of the tree to put all of these ornaments. And so that's what I'll be doing, is now really focusing on near the ends of the branches for the most part, so all of these great, unique, special ornaments can be really well displayed. We've got all the ornaments on, so we should be pretty much done now, right? Not quite. So we are very, very close. So next thing I'm gonna do is actually decorate under the tree. And if you've seen any of my videos before, then you know that I do not like to have a bear underneath of the tree. I'm gonna use this really old piece of crushed velvet that's left over from some other project that happened many years ago. I'm gonna use this as a tree skirt because I've never quite found a tree skirt that I like for this tree. Mind you, I haven't looked for a while, but you don't have to actually use a tree skirt to put around the bottom of the tree. So I'm going to wrap this at the bottom, and then I've got these really neat kind of oversized ornaments. I got these several years back. I'll see if I can find the link to them if they're still around, but I'm going to use this to decorate underneath the tree. In addition to doing that, I am going to do a little bit more surveying of the tree now, just to see if there's any other things that I want to tweak, move around, change, you know, mess with the tree topper, all of that kind of stuff. So I'll do that real quick, and then we will be done. Did I say we should be done? Well, not quite. You may have thought this is an odd place to be putting a Christmas tree with double doors behind it. That's because actually the Christmas tree goes in that corner right there, but for filming purposes, it didn't make sense to film there, so I've been doing it here. So now I actually am gonna have to move everything over there when I'm done filming. So I'll probably have to end up tweaking a few things, and I'll actually probably remove some of the breakable ornaments so they don't come off in the move. And then of course I've got to clean up from all this mess. But this is pretty much the finished product. I'll try to include at least maybe a picture of how it looks in its final spot. Maybe once there's not going to be the glare from the windows or something like that, so you can see how it nestles into the corner and really adds to the ambiance of this room, which by the way is our master bedroom. Also, I will have a second video coming up soon that does feature this tree again and really just showcases a little bit more about close-ups of the tree and more about where I got things and kind of how I put it together. That's more of a voiceover type video. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe if you're not already, so you can be notified when that video comes out. but I will go ahead and provide a close-up shot so you can see how the tree came together in a little bit more detail in this video as well. And now would be a great time, if you haven't already done so, to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.